to offend anybody that has 4.0, by the way. It's a great thing to have, but like what you said, you need to add something else to your portfolio as well. Sometimes I had opportunity to interviews for scholarship recipient, and we like to poke fun at the candidates sometimes about, especially those that had perfect GPA. And you can tell, like, some had better answer than others. We asked them, like, do you think 4.0 is such a positive or negative thing? And these candidates, some of them said, oh, you know, it's all positives, you know, but, others says it's nice, and it was difficult for me to have 4.0. I worked hard for that, you know, and I also did something else to have those type of answers show more about who you are, showing more about you being humble, like you're not above anybody and those kind of things. So it's not a bad thing, but you don't want to walk around like 4.0 GPA with that sticky note on your forehead or anything.
I'll say also, I agree, I think GPA is only one factor that we consider, but I think looking at your accounting GPA, also over, like, we would emphasize more on that than your overall GPA. So make sure when you're creating your resumes to put both on there, I would recommend.
Or your MIS or finance or whatever
Oh,
you're
yeah,
going for.
yeah.
Like your major GPA.
Exactly.
Because that shows a lot more than you having one really bad semester when you're a freshman and it affecting everything for the rest of your college career. So. Does anybody, like,
If you have any questions, you can ask
Yeah.
for yourself too.
exactly.
I'm not going to ask questions all the time.
Actually, we prefer that. So if you have a question, please ask the panel.
It makes you look good.
I was thinking that Coke gave you guys a question to ask for the panel. Could you ask that one, please?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's the one.
The bottom one.
Yeah. But that was answered. In the world of technology, yeah, the world of technology is changing so rapidly. How do we prepare ourselves for the future? And you guys have the answer, I'm sure, right? I can answer it.
I don't think you want me to answer it. I think we'd rather hear Sean answer it.
Oh, maybe.
See, it's a trap.
It's a trap. Yes, it's a trap. Yeah. I think, and by the way, I've got to throw a disclaimer out there. Yes, wear professional attire. I'm wearing jeans today because of the 6 years I've been at Coke, only 2 times have I ever been allowed to wear jeans, and today's one of them. So that's why I'm wearing jeans. So I would say the one thing that with technology, and we've kind of echoed it before, it is changing so much. We have finance people within Coke that are now developing bots, basically. So if you are a finance person, and I don't know what I'm talking about, so take this for what it's worth. If you are a data, I kind of go back to my parents' days. If you are data analytics where you just put data in, data processing, and you moved on, and that's what you did every day, data processing, that's all you did. That's gone the way of the dodo bird. I mean, it's just going away. And I'm a security guy, right? So any of you all have heard of Equifax, right? That just happened? Okay.
143 million people?
Yes, and I'm one of those lucky people.
Oh, boy.
I recommend, real side note, if you haven't put a security freeze on your whatever that is, your credit, yes, make sure you get out and get a security freeze on your credit. That'll help alleviate some of this junk. However, now back to that. The point is that those days are going away, that it's just you're going ahead and just data entry. We have people now that are finance folks that are actually going out and dropping and dragging code. So I have developers that work for me, and they're dropping and dragging code that is actually taking the place of jobs of data entry. So You see all these automation, the robotics that's changing, and people's jobs are going away, supposedly. Well, what that's doing is it's allowing you to now change and do something different. You were given a brain that's way beyond data entry. So now these tools are going to be available for you to go way beyond where you're actually at. So the cool part is open your mind up to how you can actually use these tools in ways to help companies. Companies like Coke, we're pushing everything to the cloud. We're in a big push to move. I mean, right now, out of all of the companies on the globe, we're Amazon's #3 partner on moving stuff to the cloud because we see the value in doing that. But we have finance folks that are in the process of helping us do that. So that's just keeping your mind basically in different aspects. Think about it outside the box of going, when you get a job, outside of after you leave college, what can you use technology to help you create more value for the company you're with? And you'd be surprised what opportunities will come open for you when you do that. So that's kind of an answer to that, is just stay flexible. We've kind of talked about that. But technology, don't limit yourself that if I'm a finance person, that's all I know. If I'm an MIS person, that's all I know. The world is your oyster to do whatever you want. Just don't anchor on something just because you went to college for it.
I would just echo that. So your attitude instead of being closed off and I know what I know and that's all I need to know. You need to seek out exposure to these new technologies. You need to actively seek out and expose yourself to these different technologies and these changing technologies. And I think if you do that, you're going to see returns from that.
And for anybody else in this room, you're all behind the power curve. I have a 15-year-old that's in high school that's learning to write code. And I just learned last semester in Dr. Zhu's class. Thank you. So, and it's not even a code that's widely used. I mean, it's not Java and it's not C#, but it gets me the understanding of how to write code. And I've already picked up like 3 other books to teach myself to write code. So.
And I'm going to follow on to that. So how many here have one of these? Pretty much everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have our SAP system, right? Have you ever heard of SAP? Mm-hmm. So now we have our purchase orders were coming in, and we'd have somebody sit down and type our purchase orders in and put them into SAP. Well, now they come in and something similar to this, obviously not a phone, it zaps them, it automatically puts it in the system, and now it's way more efficient, it's much faster, less errors, and now that person's role who was doing data entry is now moved on to doing something different. And we have a situation where in Vista, we're the fibers business, we had people set aside specifically to look at carpet fibers as they're getting on a spool to look for quality control. We now have cameras that do that, are much faster, they work 24/7, and I don't have to have a team of people that have to be worried about getting them hurt. So now you have a robot that's doing that. The point is that, but the reason that idea came from individuals that were working on the line thinking about that. It's just the kind of different ideas of what can you use in your career to expand it.
We got about one more time for about one more question. Did I ask that? Is there cross training in business, and how can we prepare ourselves for it? And I think I might pick on a few people this time. I'm going to pick on Coke. I'm going to pick on InfoSync and EY and Ernst & Young. Yeah, you same thing. Jeez, I'm sorry. But yeah, because I know for a fact there is an InfoSync, and I want to say your tax specialist department. No?
Corporate account.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember. I'm sorry. And I think AGH as well, right? You have a few people that cross-train, right? In the different areas, Jenna?
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, is there cross-training within the business, and how can we prepare ourselves for it? You know, like if...
You have
say-
your accountants learn
Yeah.
a lot of the finance stuff.
or learning some coding, because you want them to develop, help develop a database or Yeah, a database to help with client interaction with your systems.
So I guess from AGH's perspective, certainly there's always cross-training. And it'd be accounting and IT are the big ones. I'm an auditor, so I'm going out and I'm looking at these accounting systems with a big risk. The IT system behind it isn't operating properly. There's a lack of controls in the IT system, which therefore directly impacts our financial statements. So IT would be the big one. I mean, we see finance stuff every day as well. We're a little different in the public world in terms of I don't go off and I don't interact with marketing every day, for example. That's just not the way public accounting works. We don't have quite as much probably as you can see at one of the private businesses, but certainly you see different sectors, different areas of the company and how that interacts with the financial accounting system. Almost everything somehow impacts that. So.
Would you say having an understanding of we'll say Oracle, would that help you understand what's going on with the system more? Or is it just you want to see it work?
I don't know. Oracle's getting really specific. There's so many different systems out there that to go
SQL,
specialize
Oracle.
in one public accounting probably doesn't make sense. From my perspective, I would say have a general understanding how it works. Be able to, you don't have to be an expert in any of it. Be able to speak the language. One of the steps in every audit is you have to do a fraud inquiry of the IT department. It's required. Every audit should be doing that. So you have to be able to communicate with them and at least understand what they're talking about. But specializing within a system, I'd say more so be in the private industry. To go to Oracle would really limit yourself as far as opportunities outside the company that doesn't do Oracle, I guess. So just be familiar, have a general understanding of how it works. I think that'll serve you better.
Being at InfoSync, we are kind of unique. We partner with multi-unit restaurant businesses and non-multi-unit and some corporate-owned restaurants, where all of our information that we source to them and that we provide to them and that we manage is all information technology driven. So, you know, they get reports, trends, you know, all through our information technology through software that we, you know, develop for them and run. We start at the internship level. We do projects at our internship where they rotate to the different departments within our company and how they interact and work with one another. One of those departments, which some of our interns that have been through our program, is with, you know, our